Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Boy, oh boy, has it been a while since I've made a behavior speculation slash update video. My goodness, do we have a lot to talk about today. So on April 2nd, Behavior did a PTB coming up to B type live stream, right? The highlights of it were the Blight got nerfed, his movement speed went down, and he loses rush tokens when breaking pallets. That's whatever, really. It's fine. Diminishing returns. Behavior apparently plans to implement some kind of system that reduces the exploitation of extreme percentage abuses in terms of healing or generator repair speeds. This also applies to killers, even though personally, just me to you, I don't really think that's a bit of a problem for killers. It really never has been. I mean, who cares if I use Pain Res or Pop Goes the Weasel on the same gen when survivors can just, use Fast Track and brand new parts and get it done in half a second anyway. You know what I mean? That's neither here nor there. It's a double-edged sword. It's a step in the right direction, although not quite there yet. We're getting close, but we're not quite there yet. And at some point, they started talking about killer updates, which actually got me a little excited. I was very excited to see this. They're making small tweaks to Leatherface, the Doctor, Demogorgon, Dredge, Ghostface, one of my favorite killers in the game that I hate to play because he is in such a horrible state right now. Wesker, Unknown, and Springtrap. Now, overall, this sounds really, really good, right? But I'm here to tell you something that caught my attention almost immediately. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Fast Track rework was implemented like maybe a month ago at this point, by the time you're watching this. Maybe not a month, maybe like half a month, you know what I mean. But after the Fast Track rework, I kid you not, I believe near the start of this Blood Moon event, the first one I ever have partaken in, by the way, the very first day, the shrine was updated, and that perk was on there. I'm telling you right now, the moment I saw that perk on there, immediately something came to mind. One of the most evil things Behavior could possibly do came to my mind instantly. And you see, I'm here to tell you that although this is a bit of a negative topic, I'm going to keep it real. I don't like being negative, but I'm going to keep it real. And what is the point of getting excited about all of these numerous, quote, small tweaks that are supposed to be buffs for these killers if Behavior is going to put Fast Track on the shrine? Stick with me here. So players can get it for free at a very reduced cost, right? And then use it to bully killers, which therefore either leads to killers playing more and more like douchebags, tunneling, slugging right at the very beginning of a game because they just assume everyone's running this perk now because it's put on the shrine for free, for crying out loud. What is the point of buffing these killers if Behavior put Fast Track on the shrine, which maybe this is just schizo speculation here, but I truly believe they're going to use this as a reason to try and re-implement anti-slugging or anti-camping mechanics. If not, make them even worse than what they already are in the game. I know, you're probably thinking, fight. Behavior is extremely stupid. They would never even think to go this far ahead. I'm telling you right now, Behavior is so incredibly favoring, like, ignorant survivors, especially Swifts. They masquerade it as ignorant survivors. And before some moron goes in the comments and say, this is not us versus them. This is survivors and killers directly addressing Swifts. The problem, the elephant in the room. They're the ones abusing all this stuff. They're the reason why Fast Track has become such a tremendous problem. In fact, me and a few other people who play this game have actually been using Fast Track, and it's insanely broken. We're not even good players. And we can still abuse this. Like, this is insane, man. And all throughout this Blood Moon event, I have noticed that killers are slugging constantly. It could be a Blight, it could be a Nurse, it could be a Houndmaster, it could be a Trapper. Everyone and everything is slugging. And if they're not slugging, they're tunneling. We're talking straight off the hook. We're talking BMing on hook. You don't even have to do anything. There were so many instances during my live streams where I was playing with viewers and they would just straight up be BM'd for no reason. And this got so bad to a point, both on stream and off stream, where we had to intentionally play stupid. We had to use stupid perks that went against each other just so we could stand a chance at befriending a killer and farming blood points during the blood point farming event. I gotta say, real quick, side note, I'm kind of disappointed in my fellow killer mains. I'm disappointed, but I get it. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I I haven't been playing killer hardly at all during this event because almost every single killer game I get when I'm actively, just trying to have a casual game, because I've given up on comp DBD almost entirely, right? Once you get a high enough MMR, the game's just a complete joke. There's no point in taking it serious. It leans towards Swifts so heavily every single game. P100, P100, P100. It's whatever. But there comes a point where after playing so many casual matches of just not trying to win necessarily, but also not trying to lose, right? You're in the in between where it's like, if I get a kill or two, it's whatever, right? If I get three, oh, that's cool, that's whatever, right? And I stopped playing killer for the majority of this event because almost every single game I get put into, even Swifts, keep in mind, SWFs, 4-man Swifts, these guys are so hungry for blood points, at least from in my experience, they will immediately just give up to try and befriend me to farm, right? Now, I've heard the opposite as being true as well. I've heard that a lot of Swifts are being extremely over the top, extremely, obnoxious, but that's just what the game has become outside of this event anyway, right? And and one can't help but think that the reason why all of these Swifts are so bloodthirsty, literally, is because of the fact that a lot of killers feel the need to overreact. We feel the need to actively punish these Swifts because they're abusing fast track, because they're abusing potential energy, because they're abusing brand new parts, because they're abusing stakeout hyperfocus, right? Like, I'm not sure how the new PTB update will affect token perks like fast track, stakeout, hyperfocus, whatever, right? And again, while I'm disappointed so many killer mains are taking the game way more seriously now than seemingly were before, I get it. I do. Because, like, I've been there myself, you know what I mean? So it's really a double-edged sword. I get why killer players are playing this way. I just wish they didn't have to, because some of them do have to, right? If you're playing an M1 killer in the big old 26, like someone like Hag, you really have no option. I have seen both of this being true. However, from my own experience, maybe it's just like a really weird lucky thing, but I have been avoiding playing killer because a lot of the time when I am playing it, people just want to farm, right? And I don't have a problem farming, but when it becomes every single game just farming for 20 to 30 minutes straight, it gets really boring really quick, right? All of this to say, behavior is almost certainly going to use this skewed data to give an excuse as to why they should either nerf even more killers, as an excuse as to why they should increase the endurance status effect right off hook, as to why elusive should be put into more perks, which, by the way, elusive has become the new talk of the town in DBD. Elusive should not exist outside of unhook protections. That's it. Period. Full stop. But all of this is to basically come to the point that although behavior doesn't really seem to have any goals in mind, long-term goals, we have learned from past updates, from past context clues, that this is where they've been trying to head for at least a few years now. This is extremely evident given the quote trickster rework, which was just a huge nerf. There was no reason for this to even really happen. I would be happy with old trickster if he was still in the game. In fact, I'd be more happy if he was still in the game than the new one is. I mean, for crying out loud, we took a guy who was in his prime, literally chiseled abs, like literally 20% body fat, maybe even less. And we're going to say he moves the same speed as the hag, which is like made of like mud and twigs. Give me a break, dude. It's just so dumb, man. Like I'm not am I looking forward to these killer buffs? Absolutely. Am I expecting them to be good? Absolutely not. At most, I can see these buffs being a minor stat improvement or maybe an add-on stat improvement, but beyond that, I really cannot see this being anything more substantial. And to be completely honest, after the Trickster rework, I'm not sure if I even want them to rework some of these killers or update their power, because before they removed my boy Michael Myers, man, they destroyed him. Just my opinion. I mean, if you like him, I ain't gonna knock it, but I prefer old school Myers, and if they're just gonna give Ghostface the same treatment as just like pretty much turning him into a dash killer, I'm probably not gonna play him, right? And ultimately, this video serves as kind of a warning for everyone who still plays this game, for everyone who's getting excited. While it's good to get excited, and while this is definitely a step in the right direction for behavior, you guys have to be very, very careful in getting your hopes too high, because behavior has proven time and time again they will put padding before drop kicking you in the face out of a second story window. All right. So in the end, if you like the video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. I'm gonna be live Saturday I go typically live on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I hope you all have an amazing day, evening. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Regardless, God bless. Peace.